Good morning, February 13th, 15 degrees. I think it might be a little more. I think it might be like 20, but real feel is 15. It's just snow everywhere. Because, I mean, you know, it's winter. It was hard to find a place where I felt like I could do yoga without a mat and without standing in snow, because it's just not going to happen. It's crazy. Crazy town. That's for somebody else. That's not for me. Maybe next year. Taught my second in-studio class, and it was spectacular. It's better than the first. Workshopped twists before class. Kind of gave some people some options. Saw a lot of familiar faces from the last class, which was nice. And I noticed a lot of people doing twists and leveraging the twists off of their front bent knee. And the thing with doing that is, if you're doing that without having the functional mobility before you leverage it, well, you're missing out on building that aspect of your body, right? You're getting the mobility out of the leverage, not out of the body's structure. And I explained it that way. And I said, you know, maybe you don't need it, maybe you do, you know, whatever you want, but here's another option, right? And almost everybody did it without the leverage. And everybody looked so good. I'm so happy like that I shared this idea, and everybody's like, yeah, I'll try that out. And everybody did it, and they looked great. There was a lot less struggle in their twists. It's a lot more sweetness and a lot less unnecessary tension. And I'm really pleased with that. It feels so good. So that's what last night was all about. Today, of course, is freezing cold beach yoga, which is fantastic in its own right. So as I like to say, get on with it. That's how badly I don't want to step in sand with socks. There's just some things I will not do. But it is cold enough that this guy is going to stay on. The whole beach, at this point, the whole beach is kind of, well, you know, it's doing what beaches do, right? They slope down into the water. So that's going to make this interesting. As if the cold and the sand weren't enough. Always got to try to face the sun. What's wrong with me? I got in my way for a minute there. So, everything is too cold. What just happened? Well, it's just too cold. That's all there is to it. Sand is just the tiniest bit wet. We've got 2 sunbees, no, 3 sunbees to go, right? 3 sunbees to go. That's how cold my hands are. Here's the deal. You go into a yoga class and you take some postures, right? And you avoid injury, right? You look for necessary tension because, let's face it, standing on one leg in Warrior 3 there's some tension there, right? But you don't do it to the point of hurting yourself, and this is no different. And I need to know when to throw in the towel, so to speak. So, a couple of things are happening here. First of all, my hands and feet are so painfully cold right now that I feel that I'm on the verge of injury, so I stopped. Second, what you cannot see over yonder is a great, huge slab of stone. And as I dug in, am I even in? Can you even see me right now? Okay. As I dug in, moving back and forth, I started getting closer and closer to that edge, like revealing that edge. First of all, that stone is like 100 times colder than the sand. And second of all, it's in a place where it's really throwing me off balance. It's jagged, it's slippery, it's causing me some problems. And then lastly, several times my palms went in too deep. And so when I went back into downward dog, my hands throbbed so painfully because I'm impinging on all my nerves. In other words, this is all terrible for yoga for right now. Where I did it before, the sand was a little bit more firm. It wasn't as cold. So I've warmed up a bit. And I'm gonna see if I can go down the beach just a touch. Maybe I can handle one sun bee. One. Get one mountain, one forward fold, one flat back, one warrior one, right? All the chaturanga dandasanas you could ever want. That's my goal right now. I'm gonna see if I can make that happen without injuring myself. And then that's my practice for today. I do not count this as a break in my 365. I am disappointed in some ways because I had some expectations about today, because the last time I did yoga on the beach it was cold but doable. So I was definitely front loading this a little bit. And all of that needs to be explored. All of that could be explored later. But right now, let's see what we can do. I tell you what, that was a bit of a trial. Toes are still very cold. Need to go get them in some hot water, some warm water. Could take care of my stuff, you know. Lessons learned. Lessons learned. It's a good time. Good time was had by all. Don't have any idea as to why the sand was not so bitterly cold over by the water. That makes no sense to me. Unless, I don't know, the ocean's like a standard. It's a standard. It's kind of like a, just never mind. You know what? We're not going to talk about oceanography or the weather anymore for this video. I did it. I did what I wanted to do. I feel great. Thanks for sharing my practice with me today. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. What is it? Today's the 13th. So that makes it 45 days? 44 days? 44 days. 44 days. All right. That's enough of that. Namaste.